Hello everybody and welcome to the Money Shift YouTube channel. I am Thanasi and that is Project FK8. Why am I showing it to you guys again? Well, we lowered it and we put a different wheel tire package on it. So how did that change the car? Well, stay tuned to find out. Let's get up to speed on the highway for the first part of this review. So this review is going to be a little different than previous ones. So in previous and in future reviews, we're going to be highlighting three main differences on how a car drives on back roads, how it drives in city driving, and how it drives on the highway. But for this, we're only going to be focusing on the highway and back roads. And the reason why I'm ignoring city is pretty simple. It's not because I hate driving in the city, it's because the car just isn't that different. The only real difference the 20s made is the ability to feel a pothole in the city. Other than that, the clutch engage is just the same, the throws are just the same, the engine picks up just the same, so we're just gonna skip that portion. Okay, now we're on the highway. So what's the first thing that I notice? Is this worth it? Is this an upgrade that you guys should do? Or are you really just ruining the car that Honda created? Well, I'm pleased to report that this gets rid of the biggest gripe that I had with the Civic and the reason why we're starting on the highway portion. And that's wind noise and road noise. Guys, this car is infinitely quieter on the highway. Like, I can't even express in words how much quieter this car is. When I was filming the original review, the 19 Civic Type R review, which if you guys haven't seen, I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check that out. I was actually worried that you guys would not hear my voice, that I had to speak up and be a lot louder in order for you to just understand the words that I'm saying. But in this review, now you guys just know my voice is loud because I'm talking normally. I don't feel the need to raise my voice because these 18s have done an incredible job at reducing tire noise, and that is invaluable, guys. I think if you were even going to skip out on doing the springs, you don't really care about lowering the car or whatever, you don't want to bounce your ride, reduce the wheel size, increase the tire size. It will do wonders for your highway comfort. Now, the other thing to note is the second modification that we did to the car, and that's the springs. So how does that affect overall ride? So I'll be honest with you guys, the main reason for me doing the springs wasn't even a performance benefit. I understand that putting a heavier spring can just overall increase performance, but for me, the main reason was to just reduce the wheel gap, right? So what were the cons that come with putting on springs? Well, there's only really one, and that is it is slightly bouncier. And the reason why I emphasize that slightly is it's not that much. The difference between this and OEM is definitely noticeable. Like if you have someone in the car that the week prior was in the stock suspension setup, they'll definitely understand and know that you did something past just the looks of the car. But this definitely isn't one of those modifications where now your back hurts and the reason why you're doing it is just so the car looks good. Like, no, that's not the case. So that's a great thing. So for me, I was able to reduce the wind noise, tire noise, all that blah, blah, blah noise by switching out to these 18-inch wheels and tires. And the only con was the ride got a little bouncier. I mean, sure, the speedo is a little off, which makes sense when you're reducing the overall wheel tire size in comparison to the stock unit. I mean, I'm going 60 right now, and Waze says I'm going 56. So there's about a 4 or 5 mile per hour difference depending on the speed, which is important to note. But at the end of the day, the only real con is that bounciness, and it isn't even really a con because it's not that noticeable. So for me, this modification is worth it alone just for the highway benefits. I mean, the fact that the car is more of a hoot to drive in the back roads is a massive cherry on top, and one that definitely everyone should consider when purchasing and doing this upgrade. But for me, if you were to tell me that, you know, Thanasi, if you downsize that wheel package from 20s to 18s, you're going to get reduced tire noise on the highway, and it's only going to be at the cost of the car being a little bouncier, I'd give you my credit card on the spot. Well, let's get going on the back roads, and let's see how the wheel, tire, and spring package does to transform the car there. All right, let's throw it into plus R and hit the back roads. So how do the springs and wheel and tire change make an impact on the back road section? Well, to be honest, while I appreciated the highway portion of this the most, there's no doubt about it, the fun is to be had back here. And this road is perfect for it. So going into this little bumpy back road here, you do notice what we talked about in the highway portion, where because these springs are a little stiffer, it is a little bouncier, especially in this plus R mode. But the other thing that these 18s do with this wider tire, just provide more stability and confidence. For me, one of the things that I had with the Civic on its original 20s were, when I pushed it to the limit on a corner, you could almost feel the sidewall flexing over because the profile was so skinny. That flex was so easy to do, and honestly, it's been reported actually on a couple track days where people scrub off the lettering on the tires on those 20s. So just doing that minor change to these 18s has helped tremendously. Yeah, that's awesome. The grip is perfect. The springs do an excellent job at reducing the already little body roll that this car had. Are there any drawbacks? Is this something that you should avoid? Should you keep the 20-inch wheel tire setup with the springs that Honda gave you? Well, I would say actually there's no reason. Even if you're a daily commuter, if you have no plans to take your Civic Type R to the track, there's no reason to not switch off those 20-inch tires. Your daily commute will improve because you'll be reducing the tire noise coming from those big 20s. Your overall comfort will improve because the sidewall of those 18s soaks up so much more than those 20s did. And your fun improves. I mean, the Civic Type R is already an immensely fun car to drive, but in this back road portion with the springs and the plus R mode working, it's magic. Like, it should have come like this from the factory. I'm surprised it didn't. I know Honda recently introduced the Sportline package, which gives it 19s and a bigger tire, but 18s are the sweet spot in this car. And I'll drop my wheel specs and tire specs and spring specs in the description. So if any Civic Type R owner is watching and is so compelled to make the move, like I think everyone should that owns this car, you can check the link below for a start, at least, as to where you can look to find these things. But yeah, I cannot profess enough at how worth it this upgrade is. And the good news, the best news actually, is that you can sell your original wheel tire package for a good chunk of change. So I plan to keep this car for a good amount of time. So for me, the need to switch back to OEM anytime soon wasn't high on my list. So selling my OEM 20-inch wheel tire actually paid for this whole swap. I was able to cover the bill for the wheel tires, the 18s and the springs, just by selling my 20s. So for me, I had no money into this. I just swapped over everything, and I could not be happier. Thank you guys for tuning in to this second sort of smaller review of the Project FK8. Look for some EK look for some EK content coming this week. I'm super excited to finally get into that car and really get working on it. Thank you guys again for joining us. Drive safe and be safe. See ya.